Late breaking news. ICE agents on Reddit are complaining that they have not received some paychecks and their health insurance. Yes, you heard me right. They are crying me a river. And let me tell you some of the comments. One ICE agent wrote, "Man, it's been 4 weeks since I have gotten paid." Another agent wrote, "It's been about 2 months, still waiting. Has anyone else had this problem receiving their health benefits?" MSS said, "They don't know how long it will take, but I have a sick daughter." And some of the comments that were written that they could not pay their rent, their mortgage, or even their car payments. And this last comment is a good one. Still didn't get paid for the base check. Oh well, unbelievable. There you have it. ICE agents complaining on Reddit that they have not received their benefits or some paychecks. Agents waiting to get paid and waiting for their health benefits.
ICE agents are realizing that Trump may have screwed them on signing bonuses and health insurance. According to posts under an ICE agent subreddit, new agents have yet to receive the $50,000 promised to new recruits. Some are saying that it's being taxed so aggressively, it's nothing like what they thought they would get. Others haven't gotten anything at all. Other posts claim that they haven't even been paid at all, 4 weeks into the job. Trump's DHS made a lot of promises to incentivize people to join ICE. There was the $50,000 signing bonus, student loan forgiveness, overtime pay, and other bonuses. Now it looks like the new ICE recruits aren't even getting standard employment benefits. One post claimed that they have been without health insurance for 2 months. They may have been misled, which isn't surprising knowing Trump. A closer look at the fine print of that promised $50,000 signing bonus shows that it's not actually what it looks like. It's $10,000 if they returned as a former employee, $10,000 if applications were submitted before August, and $10,000 annually for 3 years if they stay. None of this was how it was marketed.
Did you see that ICE agents have taken to Reddit to complain that they haven't gotten their $50,000 bonus, they're not getting paid, and that they're having a hard time getting their health insurance for their children? This comes from the unofficial Reddit page for ICE officers. And since the Trump administration started its mass deportation campaign, this page has become a place for ICE agents to talk about issues they're having at work. Some people have gone on there to say that after weeks of working as a federal agent, they still haven't been paid. Others are having a hard time getting medical insurance. Like this person who wrote, "Been here for about 2 months, still waiting for my health insurance." And that MSS told me they don't know how long it'll take and I have a sick daughter with no insurance. And of course, one of the biggest things people are talking about is the bonuses. That they either haven't gotten the $50,000 bonus or that after taxes, it's not much. Creators online have broken down on how exactly the money works, and that the money is taxed, and that there are a lot of ways that agents might be forced to pay back that money, especially after the midterm election and if Democrats come into power. A lot of people went in there expecting this kind of money, and I told them, first of all, they were never going to get that money, and if they did get that money, to make sure that they save that money for lawyers. Because ICE agents are also asking questions about qualified immunity, and if they can be charged criminally for what they're doing, hoping that Trump will grant everyone immunity. Agents are getting lawyers or are afraid that they're going to have to start getting lawyers very soon. But don't let this fool you into thinking that all these ICE agents are regretting their decision. No, some people commented that the reason why they're putting up with all this crap with this agency is that they do it for the violence, not the money. According to reports, the government seems to be very concerned about agents' discontent, because a lot of people could decide to leave because of all this chaos within the agency. Which, by the way, seems to be what a lot of people are hoping for, is that the Trump administration would realize that they're complaining and start doing something about it. Apparently, these people have never heard that Donald Trump does not pay. But this is what Donald Trump does. He makes a lot of promises and makes other people do the work, and then leaves them holding the bag, either financially or criminally. So share this so people can see that a lot of ICE agents are regretting the decision of joining up, not just because of what's happening in the streets, but also what's happening internally.
Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you're doing great from wherever you're watching me from. I'm your host and present Agent Stories. Now, let's have a talk about this. Brothers and sisters, it is really crazy that some people didn't learn their lesson very well. And I'm talking about some of these people that put their trust in Trump, and Trump disappointed them. And for the second time, they didn't learn their lesson. I'm talking about these two groups of people. And the first person that I really find delusional is those Latinos who decided to be part of ICE. When you say the word ICE in the United States, it now becomes a menace, right? These people, they are people who are bothering people, like they are bugging people's mind. And it's so problematic because they have made the lives of people of the United States so much hard, and people don't want them. But there's something which is so interesting that happened to these folks, because these folks don't listen. They don't listen because of greed. Well, this is what happened. They were promised a couple of things. They were promised bonuses, their healthcare insurance, and everything will be done to them. But trust me, even their base payment haven't been done to them. So it means that they've been terrorizing, they've been doing this to people for free. And now they're going on Reddit, they're ranting, and they're complaining about they have not been paid about all these things. Now they're ranting and they're getting out of the masks, and they're saying, I've worked for the ICE and they're not paying me. So what do they expect Americans to do about this? What do they expect people to do about this? That's the biggest question that I'm asking. But I'll say that this is a person, this is a fool, because karma is a bitch. And now you're getting paid for what you've done, for terrorizing the houses of people, for making life of innocent citizens so much hard. And now you are facing this problem. So brothers and sisters, I'm going to let you watch this video. I don't want to say much. And then I'll be back. I'll be sharing my thoughts in regards to this. And as you know, I'm your host and pre Zenta Stories. But until then, let's watch the video. I'll be back with my 2 cents in regards to this.
So now it's being reported that the frozen agents are complaining and whining because they're not being paid fast enough and they're not receiving their bonuses.
Oh, poor ICE agents. Poor little guys. Apparently they're turning to Reddit to air their sadness over being so widely hated, and the work being so hard, and not seeing the kinds of bonuses they had imagined in their little pea brains. Don't you feel terrible for them folks? They had visions of stacks of cash for unending lap dances. Dates with their wives. And now their lives are just as they were before. But when their kids find out that they are ICE agents, their kids are going to hate them forever. And that sucks, right? That's really sad. I'm sure they could have thought it through and remembered that this administration is more interested in a ballroom and a Nobel Peace Prize than taking care of the demented rejects who are doing the snazzy work on the ground.
This cannot be real. The Reddit user below says, didn't even get paid yet for the base check. And then above that, it says, don't expect much.
We have some news right now. According to the International Business Times and the New Republic, ICE agents newly hired are now complaining that they're not getting their $50,000 sign-on bonus fast enough, that they're not getting paid fast enough, that they're still not getting insurance coverage despite promises from Donald Trump and the administration. Times now reporting that ICE officers are now, some of them are saying publicly on Reddit and elsewhere that they're struggling to secure medical coverage for sick children. Some of them haven't received their bonuses yet. Some are upset that those who have received their bonuses, well, it's actually much less because of taxes. I think a lot of them just don't realize how the federal government works in terms of giving out bonuses. Just because you sign up to be a new ICE agent doesn't mean you get a $50,000 check the next day. It takes out of taxes. There's likely some type of kind of probationary period. But I don't think they realized this when they signed up. And now they're upset. So here we are. Spread the word. You can read the full article on the Times website. Follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. More to come.
So now it's being reported that the frozen agents are complaining and whining because they're not being paid fast enough and they're not receiving their bonuses. You know how I know they are receiving their bonuses? Because I was the dumb who was claiming he didn't receive his bonus. Because what they don't understand and what they don't tell you when you sign is that it's not a $50,000 lump sum. It's not a whole bunch of money. It's like, boom, here's 50 grand. No, sweetheart. It's divided among different salaries that you will get, your monthly salaries. So you will get a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. So little you won't even notice. And I know that because after I enlisted, I went through the same experience these guys are going through. And then later on in my career, I had people underneath me that went through the same exact experience that I went through. And now they're going through it. So once again, when people like me told you that that bonus was not enough for you to sell your soul, your morals, your values, your humanity, betraying your race, becoming a douchebag, being hated by everybody, covering your face, being nothing but a coward, carrying a gun, playing a dumbass, all those things, and you didn't listen, this is called karma. I hope those few coins that they throw at you were worth enough to betray who you are. At least I took a bonus to become a soldier. I had a code of honor. I followed my morals when I had to pull that trigger. And my conscience is clean. Is your conscience bothering you? We all did what we could do. Like Leonard Skinner said. I'm Alex. This is my rant, and I'm out.
Oh, poor ICE agents. Poor little guys. Apparently they're turning to Reddit to air their sadness over being so widely hated, and the work being so hard, and not seeing the kinds of bonuses they had imagined in their little pea brains. Don't you feel terrible for them folks? They had visions of stacks of cash for unending lap dances. I mean, dates with their wives. And now their shitty lives are just as shitty as they were before. But when their kids find out that they are ICE agents, their kids are going to hate them forever. And that sucks, right? That's really sad. I'm sure they could have thought it through and remembered that this administration is more interested in a ballroom and a Nobel Peace Prize than taking care of the demented rejects who are doing the snazzy work on the ground. And sure, they could have read some history and realized that folks who acted like snazzies because they were snazzies were not well liked and came upon some very difficult consequences when all of their demented deeds were uncovered. But sure, I understand these ice baby men were really looking forward to finally feeling like they had a brotherhood, like they could put their roid rage to use, and maybe could get in shape organically at work, which could lead to them getting laid more often. But just because they made sociopathic choices doesn't mean that they should be stripped of their big fat bonuses for traumatizing people. I mean, they're following through and doing the traumatizing, right? But I think we should all have a moment of silence for the face sock suckers who seem to be getting shafted, just like the incredibly long line of workers who never got paid by the Orange Savior back when he was just an overrated shitty businessman. Well, I guess that's what happens when you sell your soul to the devil. Yeah. Well, baby men, I hope you're having the day you deserve.
This cannot be real. You mean to tell me that ICE agents are putting their freedom on the line and aren't even being paid for it? You heard me correctly. ICE agents are so frustrated that they are over on Reddit venting, complaining about how they're not getting paid, how they're having problems with their health insurance coverage, and how the promised bonuses, they aren't materializing. They are violating laws. They are violating the Constitution, and they aren't getting paid. Allegedly, this is an ICE agent who posted this over on Reddit. Been here for about 2 months, still waiting for my health insurance. Is anyone having that issue as well? I chose BCBS Basic. MSS told me they don't know how long it'll take, and I have a sick daughter with no insurance. The article goes on to say that prospective ICE applicants are recruited with the promise of competitive federal salaries and a comprehensive benefits package. Salaries vary by role and experience, but generally follow the federal general schedule scale, with entry-level deportation officers typically in the $51,000 to $84,000 range, and opportunities to rise significantly with seniority and locality adjustments. The Reddit user below says, didn't even get paid yet for the base check. And then above that, it says, don't expect much. It's like $6,000 after taxes, and they put it in the regular paycheck, so you end up paying $4,000 to $5,000 in taxes on one check. And this is in response to anyone get the bonus yet. The article talks about bonuses and what they were promised and things like that. So this reads, officers can also receive administratively uncontrollable overtime pay, which adds approximately 25% to base pay for law enforcement duties. In addition to pay, recruits are offered extensive benefits, including health, dental, vision, and life insurance, a retirement plan under the Federal Employees Retirement System, a thrift savings plan similar to a 401k, paid leave, and federal holidays. As a part of the recent incentive packages, it also includes as signing bonuses up to $50,000 and student loan repayment incentives up to $60,000 and retention bonuses for continuing service aimed at boosting recruitment and retention. Now, a few people have broken down that $50,000 sign-on bonus. They don't get $50,000 given to them up front. No, it's divvied up over the course of 5 or 6 years, I believe. I believe it's closer to 5. So over the course of 5 years, they get, from what I understand, they get $10,000 per year. So you have to stay on the job for the next 5 to 6 years in order to get that $50,000 sign-on bonus. It is not a one-time check, which I'm sure plenty of them thought it would be. This person said over on Reddit, man, Monday is 4 weeks since I started and I haven't been paid yet. Allow me to remind you that Republicans in the House and in the Senate passed legislation called the One Big Beautiful Bill. Donald Trump then signed that legislation into law. And when he did that, the Department of Homeland Security got $75 billion. Border Patrol got another large sum of money. And then there was another large sum of money for detention centers. I don't remember what those amounts were off the top of my head. But I know $75 billion went to the Department of Homeland Security. If these ICE agents aren't being paid, where is that money? Where is that money? Yeah, I feel like the United States is being relieved of all of its financial resources. That's what happens when you put a con man in office who's surrounded by other grifters and con men and women. I don't feel sorry for the ICE agents, did I say that? But where is the money?
So I don't know if you know this, but the Department of Homeland Security has allotted $8 million to pay right-wing influencers to promote ICE, to do pro-ICE content. So this, he had a gun, FAFO, what do you expect the law enforcement officers to do if they're feeling like they're in danger? He was clearly a terrorist. I mean, look at the video. These are all government talking points put into the mouth of right-wing commentators. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if all the Megyn Kelly stuff, from the Epstein excuses to the I know I should feel bad about Alex Preddy, but I just don't, is being subsidized. I mean, I'm a podcaster myself. We don't make a whole lot of money without outside sponsorship. But the people who want you to lie, those people pay the most. Look at Benny Johnson and Tim Pool. Those guys were literally getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a month from Russia to push right-wing talking points, and they were never held accountable. And now they're out here doing anti-woman, anti-democracy, pro-ICE work, which I would put money down is being funded by the American government. Tim Pool is in the White House press pool, for God's sakes, in his beanie, lobbing softball questions at Caroline and just laying her up to toe the party line. We hear nothing but lies about paid protesters and professional agitators and George Soros. But I've been doing this work for 10 years because I actually give it about democracy in America, and I really believe that our children deserve better than this lawless white national hellscape and destroyed world order. The paid agitators? We're not on the left. Just like the violence isn't coming from the left. Are we organized? Sure. Do some people get paid? Yeah. But this is a job. The question is, between the right-wing buying of all the media empires and the taking over of all the social media platforms, it should be a pretty big deal that the federal government is also using our taxpayer dollars to push their party line as well. And I'll tell you, if you're a donor and you don't like the way the country is going, you are about 10 years behind the 8 ball supporting the truth the way your opponents support the lies. And as the old expression goes, a lie can get all the way around the world before the truth can even get its shoes on. So honestly, we could really use your help. And if you're listening to the right-wing guys, please know that almost every single thing they say isn't because they want you to know the truth, isn't because they want you informed, isn't because they feel so passionately that ICE agents should be able to do whatever they want. It's because they're making major money off our backs using our tax dollars to lie to us. It should bug ya.
Y'all, just a quick episode of Under the Curtain News that's always motherfucking. And yes, I am in my car. But I just wanted to let you guys know those ICE agents who thought about that $50,000 bonus they were getting, when they didn't read the tiny little information at the bottom of that paragraph that stated that it was after 5 years, Donald Trump and his cronies are going to make sure that you are no longer working for them before those 5 years are up. And it comes in intervals. You don't get it all at once. Also, there is a laundry list of names of ICE agents that are right now out there on social media. First, middle, last name, and address. Because somebody decided to let the entire social media network know about these people. You should go put the fries in the bag, because that's the only job you're going to have after this. Have a day.
Because what you mean, ICE agents are starting to turn against the government, right? But hold on. Not for any moral or high ground reasons. It's simple. They have not been getting paid, right? Some have reportedly not been paid up to 6 months. So you have some who are quitting because they can't afford to stay. And you have others who take side jobs on their days off, like Uber and Uber Eats, just to make ends meet, right? Not only that, the insurance that they were promised, right, that they'd be covered as long as they were agents and even family members being covered, they still haven't seen it. They have got no coverage or anything like that, right? And third, the whole bonus thing, while a lot of them did it, well, they clearly didn't read the fine print, because a part of that was they're not going to get the money outright in just like $10,000 checks. No, that money gets baked into the salary that they haven't been getting, right? And the funny thing is, it pushes their checks into a different tax bracket. So what that does is it taxes them. So ironically, they would make more money without the bonus, because they wouldn't be in a new bracket, than they do with the bonus.
Brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you're doing great from wherever you're watching me from. You know, it's really crazy that people still don't fail to learn from the mistakes that they made. People, I don't know what happens to human being. Greed comes and happens to you. Understand that Black Americans tried to warn you about all these things, but somehow you didn't learn. They went ahead and used to. I don't understand why Latinos and all these other group of white people and some few Black folks all decided to join this ICE. I understand there is need. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about conflict of interest. Probably they told you that, you know, we are going to do to you this, you're going to do to you that, and that, and that, and that one. But think for a second. What makes you special when people who look like you, crazy stuff have happened to them? What really makes you special? I mean, just think about that, right? So this group of people didn't learn, and they enabled ICE. They enabled ICE to dupe them. Not ICE. They joined ICE because Trump duped them that it will change their lives. And how they went ahead. So they started terrorizing these households. They started moving up and down, chasing out all these citizens um, who did have nothing to do with all this crazy stuff that were happening. And so I really, really find this problematic because people are greedy. But look, what does this cause you? Like, you have caused a lot of trauma to people. You have made the lives of people so much difficult. But why? Because they promised to give you some payment, something that you're not even sure about. Now they're not paying you. Now you're going out there. Now you're starting to complain. And now you're starting to see that what Black Americans were saying is true. You cannot trust this person. This person literally chased away people who look like you. This person literally made it make sense to you that you can never be white. But I'm still not understanding how these Latinos were able to do this to their fellow Latinos and to Black people and to all these immigrants who are just doing normal things in the United States. They are not bothering anyone. They're not doing anything wrong, right? So like, it's crazy. It's just crazy having this going on. But at the end of the day, as the saying goes, everything that is being done in the darkness will one day come to the light. Yes, will one day come to the light. And I think this was just the light that deserved to be seen. This was just the light that deserves to be known, because this is happening in real time. And we are getting to see all this crazy stuff that, are happening. But at the end of the day, people try to tell you about this. People try to warn you about this. And yeah, you are getting served what you deserve. Because at the end of the day, because of greed, you didn't see the need of having people close to you. You just wanted yours because that's all you needed. They promised that your family will be okay. They promised that all your medical expenses will be covered. They did. That's what they did. But now, look, it's standing and it's going crazy for you. And you're understanding now that Black people warned you about all these things that will happen to you. They warned you that you don't trust a person who don't have respect for people who look like you. I guess you didn't learn. I guess you didn't see the need of having that done. So I hope all this makes sense to you. And I hope the most important lesson you get to learn about all this crazy stuff that is happening. I really don't understand how blind you can be. But hey, I want to read to you a couple of things that people talked about this, people said about this, because I know that it's important for us to just have a thought and just have a talk about, this, because at the end of the day, we need to talk about all these things that are happening. Somebody said that the names of the Latino ICE agents being released was no accident. Also, trust and believe the names of the white agents will never be released. Somebody also said that so Alex was protesting for those people and got unalived by them. Interesting. Latinos will never support Blacks regardless of their hardships. So it's crazy that this is happening. Somebody is saying that as a Black American, I know this story all too well. I seen some Black cops who want to please the white man so bad that they will mistreat other Black people just to be called one of the good ones by their white masters. It's happening, right? Somebody also said that Latinos in Texas are anti-Black, and some of them think they are better Texas Latinos didn't listen to black people, and now white people are hunting them down, and they are still talking down on black people. You mad at the wrong people. Boo. Somebody's saying that little old FBA lady here with the message to my young brothers and sisters. This is a perfect example of why your decisions to stay out of Latino business was a good one. These two men were so quick to unalive a white man. They would have no problem doing the same to you. Stay strong in your conviction. Our ancestors will let you know when time is. And, this is happening right now. Somebody's also saying that I'm a Sudanese American. I'm black. Nothing on earth will change that. However, I know in my community that there are those that tend to alternate themselves physically and mentally to be part of non-black group. They self-deprecate to be part of group that hates them. Accept yourself and be comfortable with who you are. Somebody also came and said that I'm not sure if those two agents can be convicted, because if they can, then there might be countless other cases where they might have to go back on their word about giving ICE agents sovereignty. Someone also said that let's be real here. They only released the names to try to set it off. Was one thing when they told white man killed white woman, but this shit, they immigrants who shot a white man. Here we go. Someone also came and said that the crazy part is he got immigrants out there doing this to their own people. But craziest part is that they killed a white man in a cold blood. If they think this is going to go away, they have no idea about these countries and how they use you and turn their backs against you. American history is black history, and no one wants to face that fact about the black people's country's education. Knowledge is power. Black people know this. So you understand how crazy these can be, right? So please let me know what you think about this video. And as you know, I'm your host and presenter Agent Stories. But until then, I'm hoping to see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.